Who are you as a person? What do you like? What are your hobbies outside of basketball?
Things I like to do outside of basketball, I really just spend time with my family. You know, I'm a family guy, always in the gym, so I really don't get that much free time. But, you know, I like going out to eat with my friends, just going out, maybe Zap Zone or Sky Zone or something, just trying to do stuff outside of basketball.
I saw you playing last year during the Combine. You weren't playing at the Combine itself, but you were shooting around while the Combine was going on. Just talk about that experience. I mean, obviously you were just there watching, but then you ended up picking up a basketball. Facts. What was that like?
No, it was definitely motivational for me, just being able to be around, you know, great players that's trying to reach their goals just like I am. So it was fun for me. You know, I just picked up a ball, see open court, I'm going to use it every time. So seen open court, that's what I did.
You were the top prospect in your high school class coming out. At the age of 17, you're playing at Memphis.
That's right.
What was that like being so young and being so touted?
It was definitely like, it was struggle at first, but after like my first couple months in college, like, I started to get a hang of it, just being able to like get used to the schedule and like just being used to being a college athlete, really.
Being on the cover of SI, like I said, born for this, dealing with those expectations, but then still trying to be the best Emoni Bates that you can possibly be.
Thanks.
What was that like? How did you navigate that?
It was hard at first because I was so young. So it was like I had to get used to everybody. You know, like I'm going out, people coming up to me asking for pictures, like, you know, even the kids, like, you know, just being out and having to realize who I was. So it was definitely a huge step for me. But I feel like I adjusted real well after I kind of got used to it.
So being on the cover at 15 and then going to being one of the most recognizable basketball players in the world, you're not even in college.
For sure.
For you, what was the biggest hurdle? What was the day-to-day challenge for you?
Really just staying focused and trying to get better. Like really just not letting the media or, you know, like other people fill my head up with stuff that, like, you know, like negative things or positive things. Just not trying to get too big-headed, like just trying to stay even keeled, like with everything. So for real, with me, it was just like staying in the gym. Make sure I stay in the gym to get better. That was my main focus.
People I talk to about you say you love the game of basketball. So when you think about, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about just the game?
Peace. Like, I'm at peace on the court. Like that's my favorite place to be. Like I feel like it's like a therapy to me. Like just me in the gym and a ball and a hoop. That's all I need, really.
You can score, you can shoot.
Right.
What part right now, as you are on the cusp of being in the NBA, draft coming up, summer league, playing for your NBA team, what are the biggest things that you're going to focus on getting better at?
My biggest things I've been focused on really is just defensively and just being able to be more of a like talker and a leader on the court and just being able to like make others better. Like, you know, I know I can score the ball. I mean, a lot of people know I can score, but it's like I want to show that like I can pass, you know, I can play defense, get rebounds, push transition, just doing everything, like a little bit of everything. Like that's my main focus right now.
What were behind the decisions, leaving, you know, decommitting from Michigan State, going to Memphis, then moving from Memphis, then to EMU? What were really the reasons behind that?
Really Michigan State, I just feel like I was real young. Like I didn't really get to, you know, everybody had that like NBA thing. I was gonna go straight out of high school. So it was like, for me, I feel like I didn't really explore any other options. You know, Michigan State's right up the street from me. So I was like, I feel like I wanted to explore my options more. And that's what I did. And then that's when Memphis came along. So that's why I made my decision, especially like with the coaching staff they had. Rasheed, Coach Brown, Penny, like I just feel like there wasn't no better coaching staff in the country at that time. So that's why I had made that decision to like be able to grow my game. And then Eastern Michigan, went home. My grandma, she was sick, but I also wanted to finish at home because I knew after this year I was gonna put my name in the draft. So for me, it was just really just staying level-headed throughout all that and just trying to prepare myself for this.
There was an incident that happened this season. I believe you were going to get a haircut. I believe it was at night. You were driving. You were pulled over.
Yes, sir.
You had a gun in the vehicle. What happened that night that led to that?
Really just missed a stop sign. Should have stopped. Got pulled over. It was a huge lesson for me though. Like in that moment, like that's when I just had like to really think and like understand like it's bigger than just trying to get a haircut. Like, you know, just being smart. I should have just been like, I'll wait till tomorrow, have somebody come pick me up till you get a haircut, you know. So really in that whole thing, like I learned from all that, like it's just really just decision making and just being smart.
So it wasn't your car, it wasn't your gun.
No, sir.
But then obviously the initial wave that comes out. So what was that like?
It definitely was hard for me because, you know, like I feel like that played a huge role on like on my process now. Like, you know, just because it's like not a good look, you know, not a good image. But at the end of the day, I know I'm a good kid. So it's like when people get to really know me and be around me and see me, they'll know that. And the people that have been around me know that I'm a good kid. So like for me, it's just like keep being myself. I'm not gonna try to change for nobody. Like, you know, it's just like ain't nothing changed to the same kid.
Now looking at the next level, who are some of the role models that you grew up and now you want to model your game after?
Kobe Bryant was one. and Kevin Durant. I feel like just the way they scored was just like, you know, I feel like they really did it the best to me. And Tracy McGrady, like, you know, like Tracy McGrady, even Penny, like, you know, similar sizes, like skinny dudes, but they was able to get to their stuff. So like, I just watch like, you know, people like that, especially with my similar frame. So it really helped me just watching highlights. Like that's one thing I like to do outside of like just chilling. I'll just watch all highlights of basketball, just to like put into my game and work on their moves, just like, you know.
So you're on YouTube and watching clips like that?
Watching highlights, but I watch individual highlights more so than like games, just to like pick up things that I can use, like even on like other players though, like even like point guards, how they pass the ball, how they can read the floor, how shooting guards come off screens, like, you know, small forwards just being dominant, like just everything. Like I just try to pick up off everything for them.
You've shown that you can handle the ball. You were playing point it a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Point forward, whatever role you can play. What do you view yourself at the next level?
Yeah, I definitely envision it. I feel like I would be a 2 guard, like just cause like my weight, my size. So for me, I feel like that would be a good role for me in the NBA. Like my height wise, 6'9", just being able to be long out there. I want to say a 3 because, you know, it's like, it makes sense.
What's your mentality when you think about the draft and mocks and all that stuff?
For me, really, it's just like, you know, I've been playing basketball since I was 3. So like, this is something I dreamed about since I was a kid. So like, really, a number doesn't really do nothing to me because it's like, if I get the chance, that's all that matters to me. That's all I need because I'm gonna work, and that's really what they want. You want to work, and then come on, let's work. So that's what I'm gonna do for sure.
So when you think about it, you're gonna go into summer league, first NBA team. What's your biggest goal? What's your vision for your rookie year?
Really, I got big goals for sure myself. Like really, just get out there and just show people what I know I can do, and you know, just keep working behind the scenes, and then get that chance. Then I just gotta take full, you know, advantage of it.